As you can see, once we've started creating lots and lots of pieces for a more complex design like the Adirondack chair, it gets very messy down here if we're not following those rules and coming through and actually naming components. So it's really important that we actually do that from the beginning. You can see on this one here, we start to have a look at each part. We can come through. I've changed them all to components, but I haven't named them. So this one, sorry, is going to be called the arm, and it's the left one. And click on each component. This one here is the upper rear cross piece. This one here is rear back slat. And you get the picture, so on and so forth. You can come through and develop all of those. Now, if you have used a canvas and created all of your parts, you'll notice some of them, you might create each of these parts sitting on the canvas, extrude the profile, and then slide them off to the side like I've done here. But they won't be in the correct orientation. They're all going to be as though they're laying flat on the ground, not assembled. So when you come through to prepare them for assembly, you need to get them in the correct orientation. So a couple of things. First of all, let me show you this one here. If we just have a look at, we'll check out that view in that orientation. Notice the last thing I need to do to this one is actually put a beveled edge on that. So if I zoom in, we can go to chamfer, and rather than a 45-degree chamfer, we might say distance and angle, and I want the angle to be the angle that the back slats sit back at, I think, is 30 degrees. And so we put that in at 30 degrees, and we're going to just push that back because the back slats are actually going to lean back on that. So that's the final thing we need to do for the upper rear cross piece. And then we can come through, and I'm just going to pick the correct view. Click OK. And we're going to go to that back view there. We want to go to modify and move or copy. And we're going to say, well, which components do we want to move? We've selected this one here. And then we just need to get it in the right angle. So this needs to be flipped so that it sits at the back there horizontally. And it's not doing anything like that at all at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're just going to move that around until we can pick up this piece here. I'm going to bring that up at 90 degrees there. Okay, now it's facing the wrong way, but it's in the correct plane. So I might go to my top view, and we can grab that little movement wheel and flick around 180. You can specify the angle, or it should snap in and lock into those key distances. Click OK, and we'll go back to our isometric view. You can see that's in the correct orientation now. I haven't assembled it yet, but it's in the correct orientation, ready to go. And you come through and do that for all of these. Okay, so if we click on our slats here, we click on M for move or copy, and then we're going to come around and pick the correct plane. Whoops. I've selected a face. I want to select the whole component. I might need to go to a different view just to isolate that. Let's pick this one here. Selected too many there. We're going to click on that. We want to select components, and that's it there. Okay. Work out which plane it's in, and we're going to select this one here and swing that around. And that one will act as my right intermediate back slat. Click OK, and then you can move on to the next one. So again, it's going to be a lot of toggling around, playing around with the little cube up the top to find the views. Okay, and this one here, rear back slat. Let's click M for move. Now I've selected its face there. We want to deselect that. Click on components and select that as a whole component. We're going to need to move that around until I can find the correct one to move. That's this one here. Bring that down 90 degrees. And then we also need to flip it over at 180. So I'm going to slide that around there. And now that's in the correct orientation. Click OK. And that will sit at the back of the seat slats there and rest up against the base of the backrests